Hi, this is Dr. Sweta Adatia. Welcome to Limitless Brain channel. Thank you for all of you who have been writing to us. The entire journey with us is going to be bridging science and spirituality, bringing in nuances of neuroparenting and also neuroscience for daily life. Now, I just returned from a wonderful and amazing gathering. There are some unfortunate events also happening, such as Stampede and all. I just pray everybody's soul rests in peace. Unfortunately, because of the large ground and gathering which was happened. However, if we look into the significance of the event that I just returned from, which is Maha Kumbh, from the scientific perspective, I had the opportunity to meet also Swami Charanshrit, who is going to talk to us about the spiritual significance of the Maha Kumbh today as well, as we go along in this journey. Now, such events happen once in 144 years because there is certain celestial arrangement which is happening, certain astrological changes, astronomical changes which are happening. There's been a lot of discussion about all of that. I was pretty interested in seeing what is the science behind it. What really is happening that it draws so many people across from the world to come and visit now. That is the beautiful thing of what we call the coherence. As we entered the Kumbh, there was a change in the state of the brain. Yes, we had to reach on time, we had to go from airport to bus to travel, etc. That's all beta, 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 beta. But the moment you enter the Kumbh, there is this alpha or relaxed state and theta, which is a deep state of trance which you enter in. Now, there are so many activities happening around as you visit the Kumbh. The scale is just absolutely grand and magnificent. There are yagnas happening, offerings happening, puja happening. So I was pretty interested to understand also what is it doing on our physical body and on our energy body. Now, I'm not an energy expert, but I do keep talking to the energy experts to understand what is happening in the chakras, the 7 spinning wheels that we have around our body. Also, what is happening in the electromagnetic field around us. In fact, I was quite impressed to see one of the experiments with a small cow dung chip which was put on the phone, which actually eliminated an entire electromagnetic field and radiation. I will share with you this experiment also as we get along in a couple of our next videos in the journey with the Limitless Brain Lab. We do conduct monthly sessions also to bring in all these experimental sciences to you so that you can practice in your daily life. Swami Charanshrit is also the founder of Swara Yoga Peeth, and he explained to us about the nadis, the left and the right, how it is connected to parasympathetic and sympathetic systems. I could immediately relate that when your sympathetic system is pretty active, which means your right side is active, you're always energetic, you want to do certain things. The moment it shifts to the left or parasympathetic, if you're quiet, you're essentially relaxed, your digestion is happening, you feel better, etc. Life is always about the balance between these two systems. So the moment we entered the Kumbh, there were 3 things which was very striking for me that was observable from the scientific perspective. Of course, Swamiji is going to talk to us about the spiritual significance of it and the 5 reasons why it is still a must-go. We have still time until the Mahashivratri, which falls on the 28th of February, to go and offer your dipper and do all the spiritual practices as well as some scientific practices. So let me talk to you about 2 or 3 things which was very striking to me. One of them is when so many practices are happening all together at once, there is a change which is happening in our brain's functions. There was an experiment done in telepathy. There was a person sitting in one group and a person sitting in the second group. Their brain waves were matched when they were thinking about each other. It was a very, very, very long, old experiment, Faradic times. It was really an old experiment. However, one thing was very clear from this, that there is an exchange of some form of waves or energy which is happening, which we haven't known in this realm of the limited dimensions that we see or feel. That is what is telekinesis or telepathy based on. So when so many people are doing these practices together, there is a group coherence, there is a brain-heart coherence which is happening at a massive level, which can impact your well-being, which can impact your mental wellness, which can also change and shift your perspectives about life. So that is one beautiful thing which such a large scale gathering can entail. Now, the second important thing is that there is no inequality of any kinds. You meet people at the level, they're all seekers. There is a fundamental feeling of that thing where you go and you want to have a snana or the dip in the ocean. Now, the dip in the ocean also signifies some things where there is a interface, or there is a meeting of these rivers, Ganges and Yamunaji and Saraswati. There used to be again a scientific significance of this as well, and Swamiji is also going to talk about that from the spiritual perspective. Now, the third important thing what I felt was that when you are in such a state, such an absolutely charged environment, there is a chance that you will meet people who are very different. I had the opportunity to meet certain saints, certain sages, some seekers who were completely from a different tradition. I had never seen such practices being performed ever. So when you have a look at that, you start to wonder what can you borrow from these practices in your daily life, because we all live having a hectic life. We all are doing our everyday busy schedules, etc. But what if I can take up one practice which I consistently keep practicing, which can change the way I live in life? So one of the practices that I was able to borrow was to check these nadi which is operating, and then understand that you can do certain tasks, you can do certain, let's say I want to eat my food and eat my meal, then I would rather activate my sympathetic because I want to digest the food. I don't want it to be in a restful state. I want that fire to come in and help me digest. So all these little things are the things that you learn. You can visit n number of the stalls. It was literally so huge. I could not visit a lot of things because it takes quite a while. I was just there for 3 days. But at least this is the time when you go, you get to the feeling of what is happening as a coherent system, what is being built in the environment, and how it is impacting your brain, your mind, your spiritual quest, and your scientific quest, both all together at once. I now invite Swami Charanshrit ji to talk about the 5 important things which he feels from the spiritual perspective is the significance of visiting the Maha Kumbh. Let's hear from Swamiji and have a wonderful life ahead.
Hari Om Tat Sat. Today I am going to explain the secret of Kumbh, which is happening in Prayagraj and 3 other places in India after every 12 years. This year in 2025, right now, Maha Kumbh is already started from 14th of January, when the alignment of Sun and the Jupiter and the Moon has taken place in certain zodiacs. There are 5 important uh, spiritual energy which is active right now in the Maha Kumbh 2025 in Prayagraj, and I'm not going to go into the ancient story of Amrita. Just brief about it, that once upon a time in the Satyuga there was a Samudra Mantha, churning of the oceans, 7 oceans, and from that so many things came out, and one of the most important thing came out of the churning is the Amrita. Amrita means nectar, which is divine nectar, means which never dies. So once anybody receives that Amrita, they become free from the birth and death, they become immortal. So that when they came out, there was a fight among the evil and the divine to take the nectar so that they become immortal and they live forever and attain the immortality. And in that fight, in the several dimension, certain drops of those Amrita, that Amrita fell down on the earthly plane, and there are 4 places in India, and one of the place where it fell down was Prayagraj, which is known as Triveni, where 3 divine rivers merged together, that is Ganga, Jamuna and Saraswati. Ganga and Jamuna, 2 rivers, are the physical rivers visible, and the Saraswati is the very sacred hidden one. And once the 3 divine rivers comes together, again it creates the divine nectar, awakening of spiritual energy and consciousness. And the same 3 rivers are also resides in our body, known as 3 nadis, that is Ganga, connected with the right nostril, known as Pingla Nadi, Surya Nadi, and Jamuna, which is connected with the left nostril breathing, and that is also known as Chandranadi, and the Susumna, that is Saraswati, which is very hidden and secret, that is connected with the, when both the nadis are equal, it becomes Susumna. And Susumna is known as spiritual energy. One is the physical energy, one is the mental energy, and one is the spiritual energy. And when they combine together, they create divine nectar, and people, the person who is achieve this state is known as the enlightened soul, enlightened being. And that happens after awakening of Kundalini, which is residing at the base chakra, this is Muladhara chakra. And then when it awakens, it goes up to the Agya chakra, and then three rivers, three channels, energy channels, which merges into every center, and then person becomes enlightened. He becomes everywhere, he knows everything, and he merges into the infinite consciousness, and he releases all the hidden blocked energy into the infinite energy. Now, this process is happening inside only after doing so much of tapasya, austerity, and the mantra chanting and yoga sadhana. It requires a very enlightened master as well as lot of time, even sometimes many births, to achieve that state. Now, as per the Vedas and yoga, there are two aspects of the universe. One is external universe, one is internal. And one is macrocosm, one is microcosm. So it says, Yat Brahmande Tat Pinda, means whatever is there in macrocosm is there in microcosm. And so one is the Sangam, the three rivers, which is already there inside. When they merge and person becomes enlightened, becomes free from the birth and death, and he never takes birth. He merges into divine spiritual consciousness, which is eternal and it is divine. Now coming to the Prayagraj, there is a Ganga Jamuna Saraswati, which is primordial pure energy, and when they merge together, they create primordial, that spiritual state all the time. So we can have distorted energies because of our karmas and all the negative patterns we create in our life with the activities in our life. But the external three rivers, they are primordial prakriti, so they are always divine. So that divine nectar is always there. The second thing is when the alignment of different planets comes into the certain place, that the divine Amrita is fallen after churning of the universe, that gets awakened right now. The second energy, which is also very huge, and that creates a further divine and deep, subtle effect on our energy system, our mind, our body, and our spirit. And then the third energy, which is the energy of the saints who is doing austerity from thousands of years in various places in the caves, and also the saints who are living in the different planes, they also come here to take the bath so that they can receive the divine nectar, because after thousands of years of tapasya and many birth of sadhana, we achieve that state that is already created here. So their energy also merge into that. This is the third energy. And the fourth is all the divine beings who wants to receive this nectar, also they descend down and they take bath here, and their energy also merge into that. This is the fourth spiritual energy, divine energy. And the fifth one is the energy of people and saints coming here and doing lot of yagna, which is creating a very vibrant spiritual energy all around this place, and there are lakhs of yagna happening simultaneously, so it's creating a very huge spiritual energy, and all this fight together becomes the Mahasangam, and that is why it is called the Maha Kumbh, which is coming after 12 years and 144 years after different alignments. So these five divine energies are coming together, and that is why it is so powerful. Anybody is coming here taking deep with that devotion, with aligning with that energy, connecting with that energy, with that kind of thought and that kind of spirit, they receive that divine energy and they release all kind of negativity, blockages from many births, and they receive the divine flow of energy within their different body, physical, subtle and causal body. And after receiving that, the divine energies creates positive changes in their life. They receive abundance, prosperity in all dimensions of their existence, external, internal, and there are very positive changes. Whatever people want to achieve, they can achieve. And one more thing happens because of these three rivers are merging divine nectar, that is happening here in Agya Chakra after awakening of the Kundalini. That happens just after taking bath. So person's third eye is open, and all the spiritual powers get awakened in the person. The person may become enlightened if he is aligned with that kind of spiritual energy. So this is a very rare opportunity for everyone to receive this energy. and it is for everyone. It is not bounded by the caste or grade or any kind of religion. This is a spiritual phenomena, spiritual eternal energy awakening happening all around, which is creating positive changes in our system, in our existence, external, internal. So everybody can receive this blessing happening here, and they can transform their life in very short time spending in the Kumbh Mela. So Hari Om Tat Sat, this is what I wanted to convey.